From Jakarta to Jacksonville, welcome, my fellow fans of Clash of Clans. It is your host, Galadon. Thank you so much for stopping by today's episode, the 293rd installment of No Cash Clash of Clans, where I endure the pain that all free-to-play players must push through in order to max out without spending a penny, and that is exactly what is happening right here. So if you haven't followed along already, please do consider subscribing to the channel, maybe even checking out the No Cash Clash playlist, where you can see every single gem, every single upgrade since, well, the very beginning of this account, way back in November of 2019. And to be honest, I would say in just over 4 years of gameplay, we've done pretty well to nearly be at the highest town hall level possible. And yes, we are close. It feels like we are somewhere around the halfway point, give or take, of Town Hall 15. And yes, we are playing this account every day, or at least every other day. We're making sure that we always get the star bonus, and we're trying our best to keep our builders occupied. No, I do not keep one free for walls. A lot of players ask about that strategy. I would say if you just have one active Clash of Clans account and you are raiding on a daily basis, getting tons of farming raids done, then yes, it does make sense to keep a builder free, simply so that you don't get raided for massive amounts of loot. You don't sit there overflowing. You might as well. But the rest of us who have 2, 3, or 40 Clash of Clans accounts to play frequently, it doesn't make sense to keep a builder free because I can always rotate between the other accounts, and yes, I always have something to do. Specifically, because of all of the different series and accounts and updates and sneak peeks and hero equipment videos that we've been discussing recently, I haven't had a chance to really catch up here, and we are still looking at December footage. However, this right here was the single biggest raid I had ever seen as a free-to-play player, and I'm embarrassed to say I was not able to grab all of the loot with this raid. But I have an excuse, and that was that I was bringing lightning spells and hog riders. I didn't have a siege machine. I didn't have 2 of my heroes. So I'm going to say I did pretty well here. For nearly 4 million in loot available, the only thing we left behind was the town hall and about 250,000 in loot, making this the single biggest raid I had ever seen on No Cash Clash, or on Gold Pass Clash for that matter. That was a massive, nearly 4 million loot raid, and the farming continues as the blacksmith works its way up. You saw we just installed it at the beginning of today's episode, so like I said, we have a lot of footage to catch up. Today's episode is going to bring us closer to the current state of affairs in the account, and of course, come on over to kick.com/Galadon, where we live stream every day except for Saturday if you want to see the current state of affairs of all 40 of my accounts, because I do play them all every single week. Okay, now a king getting upgraded. We've got the queen just about to finish her upgrade. It feels bad to not have heroes available, but it's really not that critical unless you are in a clan that takes its wars very seriously. And we are taking our blacksmith seriously, however, getting that upgraded. And speaking of the pain, have you other free-to-play players noticed recently that there's a ton of packages in the shop the last month or so? Yeah, not just the Clashmas event, but even after that, over the past couple of weeks, I see these big packages, $10, $20, $30 a pop. And then, of course, you had the skins and the sceneries, which are about 10 bucks each. Yeah, it was a tough time to be a free-to-play player in December. But the good news is these events, like the Halloween and the Clashmas events, provide benefits for both free-to-play and those dirty gemmers, like, well, like my main accounts. But over here, we get the Archer Queen to level 88 for free. We're going to get an Expo. Well, okay. Now, this is a tough decision for some. Builder's Hut Expo Builder Hut, they're pretty similar in damage output and cost, but if you're going to use a hammer, the Builder Hut takes just a little bit longer to upgrade. So we used the Hammer of Building on the hut, we used the gold on the Expo, and goodbye to a builder for another 2 weeks. But fortunately, it feels like there's always a builder or two coming free. We finished up a couple of level 9 Inferno towers and going to put them right back to work on the G-dubs. That's what I like to call the Grand Warden. You know, it's cool. You call them the G-dubs, bro. And that's only an 8-day upgrade. And then, of course, another builder's hut, because remember, you're not just getting damage output, you're getting healing defense for your village, even though we don't really care about defense that much, right? Okay, back over at the weekly deals, just showing you where I'm getting those resources, always trying to hold myself accountable. You should be able to see, like I've said before, on this playlist, every single upgrade ever done since Town Hall 1 and every single income and expense of gems. So again, my defense to anybody who says I have ever cheated or this isn't actually a free-to-play account, I challenge thee to go watch the playlist from start to finish. It's only 293 episodes. You can do it. Okay, let's move on and get back to the upgrades where the Archer Queen is nearly maxed out. So she's on her way to 89, and by the time she's done, next episode, we will use a hammer of heroes and max her out at Town Hall 15. It may seem like a small accomplishment to you, but to a free-to-play player to have a fully maxed out hero at any town hall, it is a badge of courage, of patience, of pride, and shout out to anyone else who has maxed at least one hero at, I would say, like Town Hall 13 or higher. It counts. Okay, moving on. More weekly deals, more wall rings. Here was the event deals way back in Cookie Rumble. I realized that was a while back, but we did make the purchase of the Giant Gauntlet rather than the Gingerbread King. Yeah, we got to go for practicality. Obviously, we have heard a rumor at some point you'll be able to buy the Giant Gauntlet for gems. But as you can see, we are really low on gems right now because there were a few episodes that we spent several thousand and we just don't have those gems to spare anymore. That was our rare rune from Clan Games we're using here to get a couple of wall upgrades done. And of course, another builder hut. Just always happy to work on builder huts before most other defenses. And I try not to put down more than 2 heroes at once, even though, again, they don't matter as much for farming. It just feels bad to not have any heroes available. So here we go. We're looking good. Town Hall 16. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it is not an oncoming train, although it may be Town Hall 17. Okay, let's go to the status report where we gained a few trophies back up to nearly champion 2. Our gems, they be a hurtin', right? Well under 1,000 gems, down to 681. But the heroes gained a couple of levels this episode, and the Queen and the Warden are both on their way to another. The wall counts, well, from 282 down to only 268. Whoa. Stop by a kick.com live stream for giveaways. And thank you, my friends, my fam, my fellow fans of Clash of Clans, for sticking around all the way to the end of today's episode. I don't know why I could not pronounce that correctly. And now I will see you tomorrow for more full attacks. Galadon, have you forgotten your medication? A man of your advanced years needs to stay up on pharmaceuticals,